All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and you guys have been requesting this one since the drop of update 5.2, and it's finally time, man. For today, I wanted to give you guys my first impressions on Mysterio in this brand new uniform, because honestly, I personally think this is the best uniform that we got from update 5.2. Some of you guys may disagree, and that is completely fine. However, hear me out. This is why I think this is the best uniform from this update. It's not even because Mysterio is the strongest character that received the uniform, because it's too soon to say it right now. It's simply because of just how much his uniform is offering, just how much the uniform is changing the character overall. Mysterio without the uniform, I would say he's a low tier character. I wouldn't say he's pure garbage, because I found uses for the character, right? But with this uniform right here, man, he's actually a beast, and he's in the conversation as one of the best super villains in the game. The uniform is changing him by quite a lot, offering damage reduction 66%. This is one of the highest reductions in the game. The only person that has a higher reduction than this is actually Blue Marvel, sporting 70%. Yeah, crazy. We've never seen reduction this high on a uniform ever. In addition to that, penetration, the ability to penetrate shield, damage immunity, and invincibility. This is basically the CTP of destruction effect on this guy's uniform bonus, and on top of that, a whopping 50% all attack increase, and it doesn't even stop there. He gets a heal, a 15% heal. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when this skill cooldown is only 7 seconds and you can get a heal for 15% of your max HP, that is actually really freaking good. And this skill animation is one of the coolest animations in the game, for me at the very least. I would love to see Green Goblin get something like this if he ever gets another uniform. Fingers crossed. In addition to that, he gets an absolutely amazing 5th skill. Love this so much. The accumulation on here, the incapacitation is great, but the skill animation is so good, and this skill actually deals a lot of damage. I love the new 5th. I love the new 2nd. Overall, he's super fun to play. When I think of premium uniforms in Marvel Future Fight, uniforms like these are what come to mind. When I think of spending 1,000 crystals and getting my money's worth, uniforms like these are what come to mind. And I wish that Marvel would make major changes like this every time they decide to sell us a uniform for 1,000 crystals. So if you're a fan of Mysterio, there's never been a better time to build the character, and this uniform is an absolute must buy. You will not be disappointed with it. Now, that all being said, the uniform is not perfect. Nothing is. And one thing you will notice immediately after playing with him, outside of Shadowland and the skill preview menu for more than 5 minutes, is the fact that he can be very easily guard broken. He can be very easily guard broken, fellas. And two of the skills, the two most important skills, the two skills that I like the most, that deal the most amount of damage, those two skills are the ones that can be very easily guard broken. The 2nd skill and the 5th skill. These two skills, they can be very easily guard broken in ABX or in World Boss Ultimate, and those are the two places that most people are going to want to use him, because he may actually be a really good option once you get him to level 70, gear 25, and get the uniform to Mythic. He may actually come close to somebody like Magneto. Now, there's a very easy fix, right? You can easily just give him immunity to guard break on his obelisk. And now, in this game, there's several characters that it's a nice thing to have immunity to guard break on them, but you can play them without it. Mysterio, in my opinion, is not one of those characters. In my personal opinion, I think it is an absolute must to play the character with immunity to guard break. Otherwise, your time playing him will not be enjoyable. Well, that's not true. It will be enjoyable, but it won't be what it could be, because losing the damage on your 2nd skill, losing the damage on your 5th skill, right, that causes you a lot of damage. And oftentimes, even if you go into a fight with enough DPS, right, knowing that you can complete the stage if you hit your procs, if you get guard broken enough, you will actually run out of time. It's very hard for him to die with all the reduction and the heal and the iframes and stuff, but you can still definitely run out of time with him if you keep getting guard broken over and over and over again, and you're running a really high stage in World Boss Ultimate. So I would definitely recommend that you guys give him something with immunity to guard break, mind damage, and ideally a 200% damage prop, because he is deserving. He's definitely deserving. I know it's very, very hard to roll mind damage 200. It's even harder to roll immunity to guard immunity to guard break, mind damage, and 200. It's even harder to roll that, but if you get it, he's definitely deserving, because he's going to put out spectacular DPS and he's going to be very, very fun to play. If you're a fan of the character, there's never been a better time to build him. Right now at level 60, the way how I have him set up, he completely shreds in Shadowland. I was able to complete a stage 65 solo with him this week with absolute ease. That's 25 stages higher than he was able to do without the uniform, and without the uniform, he was struggling. This one, I had like a minute left and I was just easily going through the rotation. So if you're going to use him in Shadowland, you don't necessarily need the immunity to guard break, because his skills guard break the enemy so much they can't really get any time to guard break him. But in World Boss Ultimate, I definitely feel like you're going to need immunity to guard break. And I'm going to run him today without it, just so you guys can see on average what your runs are going to look like in World Boss Ultimate if you decide not to play him with immunity to guard break. So this is what the setup currently looks like. I invested a little bit into Mysterio, right? The skills are all maxed out because they were previously. I'm definitely going to awaken the set. And you guys saw earlier, the uniform is at rare. This is definitely one of those uniforms that's getting to mythic. If I wasn't a fan of Mysterio before, I'm definitely a fan of it now. You know what I'm saying? Or him, right? I'm definitely a fan of him now thanks to this uniform. So this is what his stats currently look like. I'm kind of sad that his crit damage is so low, so I'm toying with the idea of giving him a CTP of destruction, because if I do that, not only would I get more crit damage and immunity to guard break, I would get slightly higher penetration, and I could actually use him in PvP. I don't think he's going to be a PvP meta, but I don't do a lot of PvP gameplay, and you guys have been requesting to see more PvP gameplay on the channel, and I feel like he could actually do work because his reduction is so high and his damage is actually really, really good. So we're going to jump into a little bit of gameplay here against Thanos in World Boss Ultimate, and I'll show you guys what Mysterio is now capable of. Actually, before we go up against Thanos, I want to show you guys how he does against Ebony Maw, because remember before, right, he could only do like stage 15 and he was running out of time. Now we can run through it, baby. And yeah, if we don't get guard broken, we're good money, baby. Now, one thing that could actually be a detriment to the character, or at least it's something that you should watch out for, especially when you're running him against this old geezer right here, is the fact that his summons actually pull aggro, right? So the third skill, even though it's offering you that damage immunity, it could actually be a liability. That's actually really cool how he got frozen like that. It could actually be a liability because it's giving Ebony Maw something else that he can target besides you. And if you're in an iframe, you could get pulled out of your iframe, because this bastard loves to use his own iframes. The cool thing about Mysterio is, even though that fifth skill of his is really freaking awesome and it's cool to watch, right, you can actually cancel out of it. Once you see his head becomes the globe, you can actually cancel out of it, and I like to cancel into the 2 skill. I generally like to go 1 into 3 into 4 into 5, right, and then I usually cancel 5 into 2 for extra damage. But because this bastard has my summons and he loves to iframe, I usually don't get an opportunity to cancel, and right there he actually went into an iframe before I could get my skill off. The 2 actually does really good damage, so if your 5th just got canceled there, this guy, man. Anyways, if your 5th actually gets canceled, at least you have the 2 skill that you can rely on for a good amount of damage. Like, we're getting guard broken over and over, so 2 things that you should watch out for Mysterio is the guard breaks and the summons. Those 2 things are actually 2 of the worst things about him right now, but one of them you can fix. One of them you can fix by giving him immunity to guard break. The other one you can try and improve by not using the 3rd skill, but if you don't use the 3rd skill, you don't get the immunity. So that kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? I really would have liked it if they made it so that his summons were kind of like Hydro Man's, where they're there, they do damage, but hold up, go away, you stupid thing. But they don't pull aggro. That would have been so good. I actually got guard broken before I could have gotten into the the fifth skill there. So this is what I was talking to you guys about, right? Even though he has more than enough DPS to complete this stage, like when he hits with the proc, you can see for yourself, he does a good amount of damage and this bastard runs away from it. But whenever he gets guard broken and his skills get cancelled because of the summons being out, it's making this fight right here take much longer than it actually should. Like, we could have taken off way more of his HP by now. Okay, let's see. Can I? Wow, we actually tanked that whole thing. That is actually quite impressive. That is actually a testament to his survivability. I did not even know that he could actually tank that whole thing. Wow, so like a bar and a half, almost 2 bars every time we get the fifth skill on him. That's actually really good. Nice. Yeah, so he can definitely beat this, but I just wanted to showcase to you guys that it's kind of a liability to have the summons, especially since they're on that skill. What I want to show though is how he does against Thanos. Before, he couldn't do stage 10. Now, he can walk through it. And Thanos is not as annoying as Ebony Maw, so he won't get interrupted as often. Hopefully Thanos decides to be a little cooperative here so I can show you guys a good idea of what his DPS looks like when he's not constantly being guard broken or having his skills interrupted. Like, that's a good amount of damage. It's like 2 whole bars right there from just the fifth skill. And he can actually be better than that. It's just a matter of getting the right skills off, and I still didn't get the full rotation there. Maybe I'm trying to do too much. I feel like I'm trying to do too much, and that's part of the reason why. It's because I know when I hit it perfect. Yep, okay, we got guard broken even though we're partially like into that giant state. So that's what I'm trying to say. You gotta eliminate some of the ways where his skills can be canceled. Like if you eliminate... Wow, he lunged over there to get them. Thanos think he was going into that next phase. The giant Mysterio had other plans. And that giant Mysterio was like, listen boy, you still getting this work, where you going? Look at that. Even though he's in the iframe there, that giant Mysterio is still going after his ass. But yeah, you definitely want to eliminate a couple of the ways that his skills can be cancelled, right? You definitely want to give him immunity to guard break. Let's see how much damage we get off of this. See, like that was a good amount of damage. Trying to figure out if that was Thanos or me. See, that's good damage right there. That's good money right there, baby. So when you're not constantly getting guard broken, his damage is very, very good. So you need to eliminate some of the ways where you can lose damage. The summons are gonna cost you a little bit, right, when you use them. So I would say use the immunity when you need to. And some of the times you should ideally just leave it out of the rotation. Let me actually tag, because even though he has that massive reduction, I'm pretty sure that Titan Punch of Thanos penetrates everything, right? So it'll just cut right through the reduction like it's not even there. Okay, let's actually see if we can get the damage that we missed out on last time. There we go. That was good. That was good, especially since that's with... Hold up. Let's move. That's with no like defense down, because that can't be applied down here. Right, he's putting in work, man. Most of you guys won't give him credit because you'll say like, oh, this is just stage 10. But this There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, we actually can do this. We actually can do this. So shout out to Mysterio, man. We just need to get a couple solid rotations and we could do this. But we're gonna wrap it up here, boys. I just wanted to give y'all a first look. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Let me know what your thoughts are overall on Mysterio R. Personally, I think his uniform is the best one that we got in this update. That's just my personal opinion, right? I'm not trying to say he's the most powerful character with a uniform from this update. I'm just saying he got the most amount of help, and it really shows here, in my opinion. But leave me your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.